we go. Very good. Welcome, everybody. So glad you are here. This is our first conversation or our first webinar with Rise with Perspective, Living in Gratitude today. And we are doing it a little bit differently this year. That way we can reach more people and share some really great information. Today is January 17th, 2024, and it is National Ditch Your Resolution Day. National Ditch Your Resolution Day. So what does that mean? It means it's the day when most people give up on the resolutions. And I looked something up online, and let me just share this with you. And then I'm going to share. So I'm reading it off my phone because this is part of the setup of what was happening today that I'll share in a second. So it says the Forbes Health One poll surveyed just that the average resolution lasts 3.74 months. Only 8% of respondents tend to stick with their goals for 1 month, while 22 last for 2 months, 22 last 3 months, and 13 last 4 months. Interestingly enough, that is a much higher statistic than the ones that we have read in the past. And this was taken December 18th, 2023. And like any survey, any poll, we also have to, take into account who did they actually interview. And I'm going to just turn off your camera, Renee. Okay, so we have to take into account who was interviewed or who was polled, and what we don't know their demographics or anything like that. So that seemed like a high number, but I'm just going to kind of give you a heads up of what happened today. I was very prepared. I had set everything up for this webinar. I had sent the emails, had them all scheduled, ready to go in advance, had perfect forms. Many of you said to me, the form looks weird when you sign up. It did not look that way on my end. It was very pretty because look at the people I have on this webinar with me. The emails were set up, everything was ready to go. And then what happens? I'm getting calls from Becca. She's like, I tried out the registration. The link's not coming in. 4 other people texted me, the link's not coming in. And the reason I'm sharing with you is because this is what happens sometimes. People have this really big goal and they're super excited, and then life happens or all of these little obstacles come in the way. And it's very easy to say, that's it, I'm done. However, when we have these big, audacious, hairy goals, and you are one of the people who are listening to this webinar who are game changers, change agents who are here to make the world a better place, a more delicious place, we cannot have you give up on your goals, because you are the people that are going to make things happen. You are the people that are going to bring peace to the earth, healing to the earth, kindness around the earth. So we're very grateful that you're here today. And that was kind of like, it was almost like a perfect setup. I said, God, what are you trying to teach me? And then I was like, okay, got it. So rather than me reading your bios, because you all have very interesting backgrounds, I'm going to ask you to take a minute and share a little bit about who you are, and then we'll go into some of the questions that I have prepared for us today. Fair enough? Okay, and the chat is working, so if you have any questions in the chat, please write them in the chat. Nouchelle is managing the chat. And I should just tell you who I am also. Sorry about that. And then we'll go to you, Becca. So I'm Vismaya Rubin. I'm one of the co-founders of Rise with Perspective, Living in Gratitude today. This actually happened because Nouchelle called me up one day and she said, Vismaya, I have a dream, and you were in it. And we need to be doing something together. And this is our 3rd annual Rise with Perspective, Living in Gratitude today. And we've been to multiple cities, but we're excited to do this time on Zoom so that, again, we can reach many people throughout the world. I also am the founder of Living in Gratitude Today and #1 Gratitude Gangsta. What? So Becca, tell everybody a little bit about who you are, and then we'll have CJ introduce himself.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. I'm Becca T-Bon. I guess in a nutshell, first and foremost, I'm a mom of 3 girls, but my health journey has brought me to a platform that helped me to create a 17minuteworkout.com method of training utilizing a system called power bands, resistance training. That's all I do. Basically, in a nutshell, I'll tell you, I was born with 3 health challenges, spinal, digestive, and pulmonary. I missed out on 20% of my younger years in bed in doctor's offices. And so fitness moving my body has always been part of my lifestyle. Hence, it's not really working out, and what I do for a living is not working. It's about being accountable to myself, and now also having the opportunity to be accountable to others and for others, and showing them how to show up. I've been in the fitness industry for 40 years, and just really happy to be here, share with you some of the nuggets that I've learned along the way. And hopefully there's some takeaways for you that will help you to ditch your backstory and slay your goals in 2024.
Awesome. Thank you. I like that. Ditch your backstory and slay your goals for 2024. And you've been saying for, since the end of 2023, more in 2024. I love that. CJ, tell us a little bit about who you are,
Yes,
where
yeah.
you are.
I am CJ Joseph, CEEJAY. I hail from Orlando, Florida, my home state of Florida, but I am now residing in the Lone Star State of Texas, right outside of Houston. I'm an actor, producer, podcaster, and likewise also moderator for Rise with Perspective when we travel and things of that nature. But I'm so excited to be on this platform to share whatever nuggets I have to share to perhaps help at least one person to move forward in 2024.
Awesome. So, Shalita, if you have jumped on, I know you might be joining from your phone. Just go ahead and turn your camera on and we will welcome you. So, hello. Perfect timing. How's that? So we just went around and introduced ourselves. Could you give us like a 1-minute introduction of who you are and where you are right now? Because I know you're in a special spot. And again, thank you for making this work today. I know you had to go above and beyond. So we are very grateful.
Okay. Yes. I am Shalita Boxy. I am an actress, model, stunt woman, personal trainer, director, whatever. And I am currently in Albuquerque, New Mexico, on a racetrack, as you could see, doing some rehearsals for a show that I'm working on.
Very, very cool. So my first question for all of you is like, why do people, in your opinion and in the work that you do, why do you see that people give up on their goals? Like, what are some of the backstories or what are some of the reasons that people give up on their goals? And if anybody who's listening to this, who's on the Zoom, wants to share like one of the reasons that you have given up on a goal, or please put that in the chat. We'd love to hear from you too. Who would like to take the lead on that?
I can go first.
Okay, great.
I think one of the reasons people give up on their goals is because they think they're setting clear goals and they're not.
Say that again,
One of the
'cause you
things
broke
that they
up.
must do is be very specific about goals. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I think that people don't set clear goals. They're not specific enough about it, and they overachieve when they start to write down what it is they want to do. So I always tell people, write it down, be specific, and start small.
Excellent. Becca, you want to jump in on that?
Yeah.
I don't hear you. You're on mute, Becca.
Can you hear me now? Okay. I actually have 7 tips, and it's rather lengthy, so I'm just going to give a couple of small, quick tidbits, and then Vismaya, I'll give you a little link. I'll give you a link, and you can send it out with everybody so that they have a working piece of tangible information that they'll be able to do. But basically, what people, and I agree 100% with Miss Boxy. I think that when people are quitting on themselves, it's not because they themselves don't feel like they're valuable. I hear that a lot. A lot of people think, that they're downing themselves, they doubt themselves, they failed so many times. I'm finding that more people over 40 are not even making goals anymore because they failed so many times. The pain of starting a goal, of committing to a goal, hurts so bad that they don't even want to go in that direction because they don't want to feel that feel anymore. So here I want to say to you guys, first and foremost, like she just said, reflect on your goal and make it concrete, make it simple and doable. We take a bite of an elephant one bite at a time, right? We seize it, we slay it. But instead of like saying, I want to lose weight, let me be specific here. I want to drop fat. I want to sizzle fat. I want to get tone. I want to feel better about myself. So instead of saying I want to lose weight as an example, maybe what you're really saying is you want to increase your energy. You want to feel mentally better about your well-being. You want to improve your overall fitness and health. So my thoughts on that are fat loss, muscle retention, eat better quality protein, fat, and fiber, and of course, engage in a fitness or movement program on a daily basis. Most of you have smartwatches. Maybe 10,000 steps is so far out there. Maybe 2,000 is a way to go. And you can achieve 2,000 steps in less than a half hour. So again, keep it simple, keep it bite-sized, and make it tangible, and then stack them up daily. That would be my tip.
Got it. Thank you. What about you, CJ?
Well, of course, shout out to my Aunt Nancy, my union sister Shalita. Good to see you. Good to see you. And instead of biting off on an elephant, I rather personally bite off on a pound cake, bit pieces at a time. But nonetheless, to ask you a question, the reason why people ditch their goals is because, as you mentioned earlier, Miss Maya, life gets in the way. You know, they get distracted. And then once you go a day or two or three without working on that goal, it becomes harder to get back into that routine, to get back to setting those and achieving those goals. So that's one of the things. But also, don't make it so big where you don't celebrate the wins. It does not matter how big or small that win is in attaining that goal. Celebrate the win as much as you possibly can, the little small things, because those little small things will build up to be the one big thing to achieving the goal that you're looking to achieve.
You're speaking my language. That's one of the reasons why when I teach about gratitude, I have always incorporated the I and the N. And the I stands for how did I make the world a little bit brighter today? And N is how did I nourish my mind, body, or spirit? Because those are two very different places. One is what did I do for the world? And the other one is what did I do for myself? And I 100% agree with you. Write the things down and keep track of your wins. I see you, Becca. Give me one more second. And the other thing, I wanted to add, and I'm gonna just lay it out here because I wasn't even gonna share this, but I wanted to be on the weight loss shots. And I went to my doctor, I called my insurance, we went all through all the hoopla. We tried every weight loss shot possible, and they all got denied. And I thought to myself, I said, okay, my goal for 2024 is to drop weight and to be stronger, like really be stronger and to own my curvaceous, beautiful, sexy body, which I already do, but even more so. And I kept, no, you can't have it, you can't have it, you can't have it. And part of me was like really frustrated because it's really easy when you do the shot. And I'm not knocking anybody who's on it, so please don't think that. But it's easy because it curbs your appetite. You don't want to eat. And I'm like, I keep getting denied. Well, what am I going to do? And I'm going to be this weight forever. And finally I was like, you know what? You have a choice right here. Either do the work or don't do the work. And that's going to be an everyday choice that I get to make. And it's not an easy one, but it's being able to see, going back and you had said something before, Becca, about like how kind of uncovering those stories. And for me, it was like, I didn't want to do the work. I wanted it to be easy. So now I'm going to have to actually do the work and prepare my food and make sure I exercise and do all of those things that I really don't always love to do. But if I want to get that goal, I'm going to have to do it. So, Becca, did you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I do, because for you and for everybody else who's listening to this, when we're thinking about weight loss, then there's a lot of shame, blame, and we look at our body. But when we turn it around and we actually, like what you were leaning in towards, is feeling good, having better health, because nobody has ever said to me, when a doctor gave them a bad message that they want to lose weight. They told me they want to get healthy, right? And they want to get healthy now. What do I need to do to turn this around? What do I need to do? And most of the time it is weight, but it's detoxing. There's a whole lot of stuff, but I just want to speak to this point. And that is when we are focused on health, and also to TJ's point about not being consistent, being congruent with ourselves. What I share with my friends, my clients, my members is it's okay to miss a day. Life gets in the way. But when you miss more than one day in a row, neuroscience shows that we turn back our own self-esteem, our clock, we don't feel good. So anybody who's watching this, my thought is this for you. Don't allow yourself to miss more than one day. I'm saying even if that 2,000 steps becomes 500 steps the next day, which is like 4 minutes, get your 4 minutes in, because staying consistent, even doing that will make you feel good. Just like, and not to be a self-plugger, but 17-minute workout, who doesn't have 17 minutes for themselves? That's what everybody says, 40 seconds exercises. It's not just about the impact of the workout, but it's the impact that it puts inside of you. Once you're successful, then you do the next best thing and you keep on stacking it up.
Beautiful. So, Shalita, you're a stunt woman. What does that,
Yes.
so obviously that wasn't something that boom, all of a sudden you woke up and you were a stunt woman. What does that take? And did you experience ever wanting to let it go because it was hard, because you weren't able to get it right away, you weren't able to get a gig, or tell a little bit about that? And how did you like really share what are some of the tips that kept you staying on track?
Okay. No, it isn't something that I woke up and said I wanted to do. I was in the entertainment industry as an actress, and this may sound cliche, but I literally fell into stunts. I guess it was just God's plan for me. And I started my career at a late age. So getting me on sets with professional actors and directors, that was my quick way in. And I jumped on it. It definitely takes a lot of hard work and dedication, as well as consistency. Just like in the fitness industry, you have to make a plan, set a goal, and stick to it. When it gets hard, as you say, I don't want to quit. I want to get better. So I make sure that I'm training, I'm staying in shape, I'm taking the necessary stunt trainings that I need, staying on top of the business aspect of everything. And this goes back with, I want to refer back to what CJ and Becca said. When you accomplish something and you reward yourself, be it fitness goals or career goals, reward yourself with something tangible. And it's this because a lot of my clients in the past, not now, reward themselves with not an elephant, but pound cake, right, CJ? And I don't reward yourself with food, but something tangible. Buy yourself new socks, a new workout shirt, or, earrings, something you can show for it and not flush down the toilet. So, yeah, but so back to the stunt thing, it's a really rewarding career. I love doing it. I get to combine both stunts and acting in a lot of the projects that I work on. And staying in shape is numero uno. So a lot of people say, you do everything. You work out, you got a fitness company, you do films. That's all go hand in hand. Because I am my own product, I have to make sure that I'm taking care of my product and that it's 100% healthy and in shape for the jobs I'm going to do, whether I'm leading someone else to reach their wellness goals, or if I'm, doing 180s on the track,
I
which I
love
just
that.
finished.
And I think the golden nugget there is I don't give up, I get better. So if you're listening, write that down. Nouchelle, I see you in the chat. Can you go ahead and unmute yourself? And is there anything in the chat, or can you share some of the things that are in the chat? Because if I go close, I'm gonna be like squinting.
I'm enjoying this moment, just working out. It's going to be a great, great recap once we're all done. Keep those chats coming.
Okay, so we will read them afterwards then. So we see you. I just don't want to put my nose up to the camera to read the chat, but I will definitely read everything and we will respond to them. CJ, do you want to answer that question as well? Like, what are some of the things you do? Because you're not necessarily in the fitness business. You're an actor, and that's not an easy business to get into either. So how did you go from, I know you were a massage therapist, and I believe you sold insurance, and then now you have another transition. What made you keep going? Because
That's a great question. My why is big enough. Whatever goal, dream, desire, aspiration, vision, make sure your why is big enough. There have been plenty of times where I hadn't booked a thing all year and I could have just given up. However, I leaned in on my faith and remember various stories that are there to remind us that he is still faithful. And all of a sudden, boom, I booked something that was a pretty big project with AT&T. And you just have to make sure your why is big enough and keep your goals in front of you. If you have to write it down on a post-it note, post it in your bedroom, your office, your refrigerator, your bathroom, wherever it is posted that you can see it on a daily basis. And the one thing I do want to add is I don't personally believe in New Year's resolutions. However, goal setting, I do. I stopped resolutions years ago. And the one thing is because there's this old gospel hymn, Hold On to God's Unchanging Hand. And in that first verse, it says, time is filled with swift transition. That basically means is life can shift on a dime. So if you're setting these New Year's resolutions in December, November, October, what have you, life can throw you a curveball and things could happen. So don't wait till tomorrow that you can do today, right? So make sure you are actually setting those goals. Don't wait till say, oh, I'm going to do this when I do this. No, 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 no. If there is something that you want to do, set the goal now. As I talked about those, whatever goals you want to attain, Habakkuk that thing basically means 2 and 2. Write it down like Miss Sheila. Write it down. Keep it in front of you. My acting coach says if you can't say it, you can't play it. But if you can't write it, you can't see it.
I'm going to add one thing. And I don't remember where I heard it, and somebody in the chat might remind me, but every day is a new beginning. And every day we have, the opportunity. There was more to that quote than what I remember, but every day we have a new beginning, and we either get to chase our dreams and live in our truth, or we get to say it's too late. So if we start every day with a new beginning, or every second with a new beginning, like you just said, like every minute we have the opportunity to choose. Do I choose to go for my goals, or do I choose to live for my stories?
Yes.
Becca, did you want to add anything to that?
100%. CJ, we are on the same page. As a matter of fact, what I've been doing for my own self for the last 20 years is using sticky notes to remind myself not just to do tasks, but to stay in my mindset. And when I created the reset revolution, it is just about everything that you guys are saying. And it's not just about starting that new day, but when I was in a really bad space 13 years ago, I would go to sleep every night and say, tomorrow's going to be an even better day. Seal it. Tomorrow's going to be an even better day. No matter how great or not so great the day was, I affirmed that tomorrow is going to be an even better day. I used to write that on a sticky note. I would stick it to my cell phone. And the first thing I would see is today's going to be the best day ever, right? That's what was on my sticky note. Today is going to be the best day ever.
But you add something to that. You always say, make it the best day ever, because
create your best day ever, because we get to create it. But I wanted to also share the neuroscience behind the sticky notes and the yellow sticky note. So my program is called Reset. And not only each day do I tell myself I'm resetting, but I also help people to reset in their own moment by moment. I'm a chipaholic. I've got food issues just like everybody else. So I abstain from usually leaving them in the house, because my kids will tell you, if they leave a box of Oreos or bag, whatever you call it, I'll eat a whole sheet in one go. So don't think that I am any better, but I have more control at the store not to put it in my supermarket, in my shopping cart. So I don't bring it home. So I am not teased by it. And I will just say this, with nothing meant by it, but we don't take somebody who is a fresh groomed person who's deciding not to drink anymore to a bar. We don't put the devil on our shoulder. Think about that. And we're focusing right now just on food and health. And there's a whole lot more. Your creative code, your soul code, your relationship code, all these things we give up on. It's not just our fitness and health. But I want to say this, the neuroscience behind writing on a yellow sticky note, especially if you're working out with me, is that you are 64% more likely to hit your goal if you write it down. So we want to make sure that we're not just putting it in our cell phone and putting it in a journal that we're not looking at. Just like CJ said, he puts it, he reads it, we see it, we stick it on something that we're going to see. On my desk right now is I am consistent, because I fell off track myself about 5 weeks ago. This is still on here. Why? Because it takes longer than 5 weeks to get back into and engrave a habit, right? And so I have that. I'm going to leave that, and then I'm going to go to the market. Well, I already know I'm going to be consistent. Like I say it, you say it out loud. So the sticky note, like CJ said, there's neuroscience, 64% more likely to hit your goals on a yellow sticky note, even though I'm the pink girl. So I just wanted to share that with y'all.
Awesome. So I'll add one there too, and it's really about mindset. Mindset is everything. Watching the words that we use, watching the things that we say to ourselves, watching the language that we say to other people, listening to the stories that we say over and over again. Are we repeating the good stories? Are we repeating our success stories, or are we repeating our failures? You know, I have the luxury and the blessing that every morning, and we just started again, I read with Lee, who happens to be on this call today, and we have read probably for 2 years now, not every day because we've had life get in the way, but we just started again, and we're reading The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. And it's really about mindset and really about listening to the conversations. And going back to that weight loss shot, you know, I could have very easily said, I'm not going to do it. It's going to be too hard. But that's not the conversation I'm willing to have. The conversation is, you know, I love my body. My body is beautiful. My body is sexy. My body is all of these wonderful things. And I'm creating that into being as I speak it and make those right choices. So I am going to have you in my ear, Becca, when I go to the store. I'm not going to listen to you, CJ, with pound cake. I'm thinking elephant because I'll buy the pound cake, but I'm not going to. I know for myself that there are certain things that I cannot do if I want to achieve that goal. I can't buy the chocolate. I can't buy the potato chips because I cannot have just one. So mindset really is everything. And owning it and being
Mindset.
okay with it. Did you want to add to that, Shalita?
Yes, mindset is definitely everything. I'm a firm believer. Oh, sorry. I'm a firm believer in manifestation. So what you put out into the world is what you will get back. And with my clients, I tell them to be very specific what their goals are and to be very clear, write it down. And for example, you know, this all ties together with my fitness and film. I used to dream of being in a Verizon commercial when Jared would be, are you there? That can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And I prayed for it. Hey, I want to be in a Verizon commercial, and I wrote it down. In my mind, I wanted to be a principal character speaking those words on television for the world to see. What God actually gave me was a stunt driving job in a Verizon commercial, a Verizon training for an in-house video. So I tell my people, be very specific, to the detail, because you will get what you ask for. And, I tell them, go saying you thought about the shot. I tell them, you're a real person working out in real time. You want real results, and you got real life issues that will fall at your feet on a daily basis. Your mindset is what's going to get you over that hump.
Amen to
And
that.
I'd be very clear. Yes.
Absolutely. And just for the record, I only have the pound cake about once a year. Okay. And someone mentioned tangible. Say it again, Shalita.
I said, we look at that as not cheating, but treating yourself for doing well all year.
Oh yes. Oh yes. It's to go back to rewarding yourself with tangible things that you can actually feel and touch. When I booked my first recurring co-star role on a TV show, the one thing
Go
that I
ahead
did,
and tell us what it's called. Come on,
Paul
CJ.
Walker on CW's network, and I went and bought a license plate
Woohoo!
ticket where it's on my car that says season 1, episode 17, dig. And so it reminds myself that if I did it before, I'm going to do it again. And just going back to having that faith that whatever you want to achieve, you can literally achieve whatever your heart desires. You just have to put in the work and have the right mindset, and also speak it into existence as well.
I want to touch on that. Faith is one of my favorite words, and I never really understood what it meant until I think last year. And for me, it's this ability to claim what you want
Mm,
and understand that what is in front of you, even if you cannot see the results right now, have this understanding and this knowing that it is going to happen exactly how you want it to happen or better, exactly how the universe wants it to happen or better. And really holding true that even if excuse me, today nothing is working, let's just say, or I fell off the wagon, knowing that I can get right back on and I can get the things I want. Faith is a huge one for me. It's really it's the knowing that I can have whatever I want.
I love that. I'd like to share, when we think about that and we think about the word like manifesting, and is there like a magic to it? It's exact, we can interchange so many words. And I've heard a lot in here today about, mindset, and we can't speak enough about that. We can do a whole webinar just on mindset. What I found is when people cleanse their guts, believe it or not, your gut is also called your second brain. And when your gut is clean, when your intestines are clean and you're not having all these toxins recirculate back into your bloodstream and into your thoughts, you're able to stay on a stronger set with your mindset, and you're not going to have the tremendous offset and cravings. Obviously, also supplementation, making sure that your cells at the cellular level are getting what they need, because that take a bite of that, somebody sing a song for me, that Snickers bar, whatever it was, that Snickers commercial, we all know it. And it's true to a fact, because at the middle of the day, we're needing energy. So the first thing that our bodies think of is energy, is carbohydrates in the form of sugar, because that's going to be immediate, fast energy. If you eat the right.
Hang on, I want to stop you for a second. Let me ask you this, because that information is great information, but if somebody is listening and they're just starting, like when I hear you say gut, clean your gut or watch your gut health, for many people, they're like, done. So give me like 3, and I agree with you, but give me 3 simple tips for somebody who is like, all right, Becca, look at you, and I want to, be healthy like you. Give me 3 simple tips that will ultimately get me to have better gut health. Because when some people hear that, they're like, ooh, done.
Yeah, that's great. So first of all, my health is, I was born with one shoe drop. So I had been on the chase of making sure another shoe doesn't drop. They didn't think at this age I'd even be walking. So I don't take it lightly, and I don't want to look like, oh, I've got it all figured out and perfect. I'm always learning. I'm always adding to my repertoire. And what I know at this moment, and I've been doing this now for 10 years, is a detox twice a year. I mean, I'm not going to go into all that, but I thoroughly clean out my intestines. I release all back up. I reformulate the gut microbiome. What does that mean? There's bad bacterium and there's good bacterium. You've heard of probiotics and all that. So I also eat a high fibrous diet, which helps me to keep things moving, good to go, we'll say that. And again, this is not just about food and stuff, but giving those 3 tips, it would be increase your fiber. Most people are having 6 to 10 grams at the most of fiber a day. The USDA used to say 12 to 14 was good. They've increased it to the 19. Myself and my clients, we shy for 25 to 40 grams of fiber a day. Again, depending on what's going on. Protein, making sure that you have digestible, high quality protein. I'm not just saying organic, and I'm not just saying to shy away from animal protein, but I am saying that you want a high fibrous and quality fiber, quality protein, and quality fats. Chocolate does qualify as quality. And I don't think that we need to shy away from that, but it's how it's processed. So I would say remove the crap from your life, the carbonated, high processed sodas, meats, sugars, and artificial ingredients, artificial colors. If you move more towards removing crap from your world, and that includes some people, places, and things and thoughts, then you are going to be detoxing your body, your mind, and your gut.
I was waiting for you to say number 3, water. But yeah.
Yes, yes. And how many times have I reached for my water while we're talking? The first thing that any of my clients will even do when we're changing and shifting into better habits is drink more water. And, you know, there's a lot of skepticism about how much water to drink. And people say have 8 glasses or 8-ounce glasses. It's approximated to be half your body weight. But if I did that, I wouldn't have enough. And so if you work out or you drink coffee or you do anything that depletes you, or you're really overweight and you're trying to flush them out, our bodies are really smart. They hide toxins inside of fat. So one of the reasons why some people are overweight is because of their toxicity levels. And so to keep them out of the organs, the body makes fat to keep them out of the organs. If that makes sense, then you are good to go, because drinking more water will help to flush the fat. And those of us who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s, more water will also help with the wrinkles, crepey skin, and folds on ourselves. So somebody actually asked me if I had a facelift, and I said no. About 2 years ago, I started drinking more water and doing some new supplementation, which helped with some of my fine lines and wrinkles, and good makeup too, right? All right.
CJ, anything you want to add on that? Anything you want to touch on?
Yes, with I mean, having to maintain a good diet is extremely important, and flushing your system. And Beck and I, we talked about this some months ago. Like currently, right now, we're on a Daniel fast, so no meat, no sugar, no just things of the earth, fruits and vegetables and things of that nature. And you want to make sure, because if you can't perform at your optimum level if you're not putting the right fuel in your body. Just like your car, if your car is a diesel and you go up and put 91 octane, it won't run properly, right? So you have to also this is your vehicle. So you have to make sure that you're feeding your vehicle properly, more so than not. It's okay to have that slice every now and again, right? But don't have it every night. Don't have it every night on a week in and week out basis. You have to make sure you're fueling your body with the necessary right fuel so that you as a person can perform at your optimum level. That old saying we heard when we was kids, we are what we eat.
we are what we eat, we are what we think, we are the
Well,
people
what
that
we
we
think.
hang around, all of that. Like, so yeah, so I think, you know, when we go back and kind of just reflect on what are some of the things that we're talking about here today, is like, really, it's time to be conscious of our thoughts, our food, the activities that we're doing, knowing our why, making sure that we're not willing to give up because we want to, you know, we want it badly enough, we want to get better. Like, that's a much healthier conversation. I'm getting better versus I'm giving up, or I'm getting better versus, oh my God, I failed, right? Here's an opportunity to get better. So Shalita must have had something happen where she had to either pop off or she's on set, so she might have lost signal. But these are really powerful conversations. I'm going to take a minute and just go through the chat really quickly and see if anyone has a question, please drop it in the chat.
Well, while you're going through the chat, I see one from Nouchelle that says, eating and being disciplined, even, I love this, when no one is watching, for a healthier you across the board, huge. Now, here's the thing, you guys, think about your good deeds that you do for other people. Nobody, or you just do, you pick something up, or you move somebody's garbage can, you bring it back in, you close their mailbox. You do that without anybody watching. You do things for other people without them watching. But what do you do good for yourself when nobody's watching? You don't need to be watched to have discipline, but that is a mind muscle that you can build on. So if you're feeling like you're slacking, you don't have discipline, if you say these things to yourself, then that's exactly what you're going to have. Instead, write down, I am ready for more discipline for myself. I am ready, right? Don't be incongruent. I think it's incongruent to say, you know, if you have, let's say 35 pounds of fat that you want to lose, I'm fit. Your brain's not going to like see that. It's going to, I feel like it's going to say it's incongruent, but I'm ready to shed 2 pounds this week. And then on the back of your sticky note, write down all the things that you're going to do differently to shift that. You know, for a lot of people, and I saw it on Facebook today, somebody wrote something about, why is it that before I go to sleep, I have to have a 950 calorie snack, right? So if you're late night eating, if you're binge eating or watching TV, and you find that every time you sit down to watch TV, you've got to have food in front of you, then either shift that habit. There's 2 ways to change it. Shift the habit, don't watch TV, or have a sticky note on the remote controller that says, I love me, or bring yourself a cup of tea, something different, because do you really need to eat? And the other thing is, our bodies, as I said earlier, need energy. They need fuel. So if you're staying up late and you haven't eaten for 4 to 5 hours, your body is naturally going to ask for what? More fuel, because your cells need more fuel. They say, up, we're up. We need to keep moving. We need to activate. So if you're staying up late, then it is a natural thing to feel hungry. So now we have this habit of eating before we go to sleep because we're hungry, and we lay in bed and we feel all the gremlins going. So my suggestion there is, have a cup of tea earlier, go to sleep a little earlier, change your activity so that you can change the next habit. There's 3 ways to change habits, you guys. It takes 3 steps. One is you acknowledge what is happening. So if you're hungry, you get that growling in your stomach. Next comes the action. How are you going to handle the hunger? So what are you going to eat? That is the change agent, right? People think that that is the change agent. And then 3 would be the award. But the actual change agent comes in number 1, knowing what you're going to do when you're hungry. So you have it already game planned. You're not looking at the last moment what to do, because how many people out there eat while they're cooking or making themselves something to eat because they're hungry? If you have ready to go foods, prepped and ready to go, then you're going to be able to create a meal for yourself a whole lot faster. My last tip there is, If you eat while standing up, be the king and the queen in your kingdom, and say that you will not eat unless you have a linen napkin on your lap. And last time I checked, if you're standing, you don't have a lap.
Very good points. So we're getting to the top of the hour, and let's do a quick go around. I'm looking at the chat. There weren't any questions that I saw. Most people were like, great advice. Thank you for sharing. Number one, like, what would be your top tip to tell people about achieving their goals? And then after that, we'll go around and we will allow you to tell people how they can find you, how they can reach you. I did put that already in an email, but if you want to go ahead and share that with people, that would be great. So CJ, because you're at my top left, if you want to go ahead and share top, like, and it doesn't
I'll
have to
let the
be
ladies go
fitness.
first.
Okay, perfect. And it doesn't have to be about fitness, because not everybody has a fitness goal. Some people have career goals or they have other goals. So top tip. Becca, Shalita, who wants to go
Sure,
first?
I'll go. It just brings everything together. And of course, I'm going to tie it together with exercise because that has been my thing. So here it is, you guys. Your perspective shapes your reality. Embrace a positive outlook and watch how it's going to transform your outcomes. And yes, exercise has been shown to positively impact your perspective through neuroscience. This is not something that I'm just throwing at you. By promoting the release of neurotransmitters like endorphins and dopamine. These make you feel good, just like that little blue pill. So these neurochemicals not only enhance, but also improve our cognitive functions and help us to enable to align ourselves with a more optimistic and focused mindset so that you can move forward in all areas of your life.
Beautiful. Shalita?
I'd like to add no matter what it is that you want to accomplish, be intentional. Be intentional. If you want to change your spirit, mind, and your body, set goals, change your circle if you have to, and don't self-sabotage. A lot of people self-sabotage at the smallest sign of, I didn't get this done or I didn't get that done. Don't self-sabotage. And if anybody's in your circle that's sabotaging you, make sure you distance yourself or you change their mind to match yours. And I can be found at smbpersonalfitness.com or SMB Personal Fitness on Instagram and Facebook, or just simply my name, Shalita Boxey.
Beautiful. CJ?
Yes, I would say start your day off with MBS, mind, body, spirit. Feed your mind with something positive, whether it's reading a book. Feed your body with basically doing some sort of workout. It doesn't have to be, or walking. It doesn't have to be going to the gym for an hour. You can do something right at home with Becca's her bands, right? And also feed your spirit, whatever that is for you. For me, it's praying and reading the Bible, but whatever it is for you, feed your spirit, so mind, body, and spirit. Secondly, align yourself with someone that is like you and have a accountability partner and meet on a regular basis. Just met with my accountability partner last night. After a few months of being off the saddle, we got back on the saddle, and it was so much needed. And hold each other accountable, not just have an accountability partner, but hold each other accountable and meet on a regular basis. And when you set these micro goals, so the next time you meet, you're held accountable to make sure those goals are met, right? And then the third thing is Michelle Sneed, who is was the first woman head of Tyler Perry Studios, now owns her own production company in California, basically said, get accustomed to getting no said to you while searching for your yes, right? But then I flipped that thing, because every day that he allows you to have breath in your body, that's your first yes for the day. And then you're just searching for your second, your third, and your fourth. So that's all and you can find me at cjjoseph.com. That's CEEJAYJOSEPH, like a man with a coat of many colors.
I love that. Thank you. And for me, it's about mindset and about practicing gratitude. And again, looking for your gratitude wins. Ask yourself, who or what made a difference for me? What did I do to make the world a little bit brighter? How did I nourish my mind, body, or spirit? And then what made me smile or laugh until my sides hurt? And for me, I'm focusing this year, and I'm really going to be doing a lot of content this year on the I and the N, focusing on the self, because often it's really easy to figure out and to say, oh, I'm so grateful because somebody did this for me. But let's look at how we make the world a little bit brighter. Let's look at what we do for ourselves every day, because the minute we start to do that and we write it down, we have this running list of how awesome we are, how wonderful we are. We get to give ourselves a pat on the back on a regular basis. And by the end of the year, you will have a plethora of things that you get to celebrate and say, wow, I really did do a good job. You know, I set my goal, I went for my goal, I looked at the small wins, I counted the small wins. And by the end of the year, you never know where you'll be. You'll be definitely a step further than where you are right now. So if anyone in the chat wants to go ahead and put their camera on and ask any questions, we can do that because we have a few minutes left. And again, I will be sending the recording to everybody, and I will be sending every bit, all three of our participants, I will be sending all of your information has already went out, but we will send it out again so that people can get in touch with you. Any of our participants want to jump on, turn on their cameras? I guess not. Oh, here we go.
Oh, I'll go. Hello, everybody.
Hey, how are you, Vinny?
I wrote down so many notes. I have a pen that has a red, green, blue, and black. So I write down different things in different colors. Anyways, so I'm glad to see there's, faith-based people on here. And there's actually a scripture that says in Habakkuk, write the vision down. I mean, this is an instruction, and it's awesome that we're talking about this. And as a faith-based person, it says write the vision down and make it plain. Don't make it complicated. Make it really plain. And then there's another one in Proverbs that says, without a vision, people perish. Without a vision, there's no direction. So I'm glad to see, we have people on here that are writing down the goals and helping people. And definitely, at least for me, I like the accountability part, because we can write down 100 goals, but I know we can do it ourselves, but I'm the kind of person that I need that little nudge. So I'm gonna get on your page, Vismaya, a little bit more, just to see all the workshops that you're doing. I have 3 of your shirts, Living in Gratitude. I love you. Every time I wear it, I'm like, go to her website, get some. So I just love you guys. I don't know you guys, but I love you already.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I'm so glad you were here. Anybody else have anything they want to add to this? All right, so we are coming right now. Thank you. I see the comments in the chat. Thank you so much. We are very, very happy that you all joined us. And just to honor everybody's time, thank you so much for being here. This was our first of many webinars this year, because we are taking Rise, and we were doing it a little bit different in 2024, because as Becca says, we want more in 2024. And that means we're going to reach through the worldwide of Zoom, the worldwide of the web, so that way we can reach people in different time zones and different countries. Shalita, thank you so much for making this work, because I know that you had to go, really ask a big ask and do something that is not normally done. And that's, talk about goal setting and talk about being committed to your word. Like, you went out of your way to make sure that you could do this even while on set. So thank you. Becca, I love and adore you. I love and adore everything you do. Thank you for taking the time to be here, because I know you have a huge launch today that you put in the chat, and it's been all over our Facebook pages, and I will also send that out. So thank you for taking the time to be here today. If you've never followed Becca or done anything with her, today's a big launch for her, and it's the last day to sign up. So check her out.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. CJ, I adore you. Thank you for bringing the male energy into our group. Thank you for having a grounding, beautiful, delicious energy, and for being with us today. So we have people from all over you know, the United States, and you all made it happen. So thank you. I appreciate it. And we are ready to rise. So keep joining us, keep following us, and let's see where we will be next. Nouchelle, anything you want to say?
Just amazing, amazing, amazing. Applause, applause, applause. It was great to be your behind the scene app working. And I can say that if you've followed me, not follow like I'm famous like that, but the woman that you see started in Central Florida with Shalita, and CJ was our family massage therapist, and Becca is my South Florida, accountability. Vinny, you talked about accountability. So when you see me, no matter what has been going on, I've been constantly monitoring that I'm not picking up my food to eat to distract myself from life situations. I am putting that food down late at night, and I am choosing alternative methods. So I think the triangle, Vismaya, you are the quad. Like, you all are my gift today. And I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. And I'm ready to ride more.
All right, we are rising. All right, my beautiful people, thank you again for being here. It's the top of the hour. We appreciate you. We love you, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
The
Yeah, be
replay
blessed.
will go out.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.